So tell
Yeah.
me a little bit about, I know you're wrapping up your research in these final
Yeah.
months. So tell me a little bit about what you've learned about viruses.
Sure. So I am currently wrapping up my research. Yeah, it's sad to do, because of course I've had so much time working on this project, but I kind of have a fun, like I'm getting to study both HIV and SIV, which is what like my personal research is on, but I'm also in an advanced genetics course right now, and we're actually studying the coronavirus in our course, which is really cool, to be able to we have access to the whole genome like on the internet that other researchers have already sequenced that genome, and they've actually sequenced like I think over 1,000 different like coronavirus genomes. So we get to look at all of those, and that's really cool. We've kind of been doing projects on that, and so that's probably one of the most interesting things that I've
What
gotten
are
to
some of the
do.
key things you're learning about coronavirus?
So one of the things we're working on learning about is each gene that makes up the like coronavirus genome. So just like a human or any other like organism, the virus has a genome, and it has genes in it. But there's only 11 genes, so it's relatively very small compared. Of course, humans have like thousands and
Yes.
thousands of genes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only 11 genes, so it's actually awesome. There's 10 people in my class, so we're each taking a gene and we're each
Oh,
like
that worked
doing a
out.
presentation. Yeah, it did. We're like, that's perfect. Thank you for having a small number of genes, coronavirus. But basically we're each gonna like select a gene and kind of like focus in, like what proteins does the gene like encode, what is it really important for the virus's function. That's like something, of course, that's important for researchers to figure out, because if they can figure out like which genes are really essential, maybe they can like target them in like a vaccine or a drug therapy. So we've been learning a lot about not only what do the genes do, but why is it important to figure that out. So that's been really cool. We've kind of just started that whole project, but I actually pulled up one of the websites we've been looking at. If you want me to like share my screen with you, I can show you, but let's see if I can get it. Okay, so it tends to slow down once I do this, but we'll see if it works.
Okay.
So can you see it?
Oh, yes, I see it.
Awesome. Okay. So this looks like very complex, but it's just one of the cool things we've been looking at in class. It just shows like where you see like clades in these different colors. It's just kind of like subgroups of the virus. And then
Over
these
time
are,
too. So it's
yeah,
a
over
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like basically when they sequenced each one. So since they've been able to sequence a number of genomes, of course, they're all very, very closely related,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll have like small genetic variants, and they'll get sorted into categories, and those are these colors. So that's been really cool, and we can even see like a map of where they've found different types.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things we've been looking at a lot in class. This is like this section with the bars is like the full genome of the coronavirus, so you can see like some of the genes. So we've been kind of learning how to like use that website and how to do those things. So that's been cool. But I just thought
Are
it might
you
be cool to show you
confident?
that.
Do you feel a good sense of confidence that we're going to be able to have a vaccine for this virus?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm like qualified to answer that question. I would like love to say yes. I don't know how long it will be, but I think like I feel like we've had other SARS viruses before that they have
Mhm.
found vaccines
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
So I would think that that's really promising, but yeah, I'm definitely not qualified to say whether a vaccine can be found, but obviously I really hope so. And I have heard they've made progress on, some things. So hopefully.
As a new young scientist that is studying viruses, are you surprised that all of this has happened?
Yes, I would say I am definitely surprised. I'm sure we all feel very surprised, but I think that it's a little surprising maybe that there wasn't more like prior research kind of on we had research on SARS viruses, but it's not like this is the first type of this virus. So I'm definitely like surprised that we're not a little bit maybe like more prepared. But I think it just kind of goes to show the fact that research and like money for research really goes to, you know, like current diseases or current things. And since, you know, coronavirus or any SARS viruses weren't current, you know, a year ago,
Yeah.
there just weren't as many people doing research on that. And of course, if you look now, there's so many people, you know, so many labs have like
Shifted,
redirected.
right?
Yeah, right now they've completely shifted into just studying coronavirus. So I think that is promising. I think it's important to also remember, like, science does take a lot of time, and like it feels like we've been living like this for a long time, but this really just started, you know, maybe 6 months ago, we could say at this point. But yeah, so science does take time, and I'm definitely hopeful that all these new labs working on things is going to turn into something really great. But.
Yeah, I am too. I always have had a lot of confidence in our scientific community's ability when they do have the resources to mitigate the impact of disease in our country. So I'm confident of that. I think for the first time, I've realized in a different way how globally connected we are, just watching the path of this virus and, you know, and how it was introduced into different countries, and then the rate of illness that we've seen. I also think, quite honestly, that this has also meant that the community, we're suddenly doing all that we can to help people who are vulnerable to this virus. And so just the visibility of that, of all of us taking action, particularly for the elderly who are vulnerable in their underlying conditions, I think that's a really healthy thing, a healthy lesson that we're learning about the care, not just in the United States, but across the globe, of each other, because we are all connected in this new world that we're in. So it's a lot of really great lessons, and I have confidence we'll get to the other side, but it is bumpy and
definitely
unexpected, I think, right? Well, Grace, thank you for visiting with me. It's been great.
Sure.
Good luck these last few months.
Of course.
Wrap up your own research, and I'll look forward to seeing
Thanks,
the
Dr.
outcomes
Book.
of that. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Bye.